Excellent. All right. So the pre-roll. Here we are.
The worst thing about the pre-roll is just coming up with stuff on the spot because, like, we haven't said pre-roll in a pre-roll for a while since like the early days of the podcast. So now it's like there's this like level of expectancy of like, well, what do we say?
We're definitely breaking the fourth wall on that one, Gabe.
Because this is like some Deadpool level stuff where we are now aware that we are in pre-roll, which we always were, but like to acknowledge it is a very, very old tradition, right?
Well, to be fair, I mean, it was a situation where we would kind of just, it was like a way of testing sound, right? Like that was the original intention.
Make the final cut.
Yeah, and it's just something like, well, maybe Adam would say something stupid, or you would say something stupid, and it's just like, you know what, I gotta keep it.
When do I not say something stupid?
It's a good point. I mean, I didn't want to go there, but you're right. But yeah, that was like the original intention behind it. Now, it's kind of just a way to prolong content without having to say anything meanwhile. You know what I mean?
But that being said, I think our like shortest ever podcast was still like 35-ish minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, like around the 40 mark. Yeah.
Good 40 mark.
Yeah. And I'm glad that, that this thing exists, especially with what's been going on with my rig recently. I think it was probably in our best interest to make sure that everything was functioning properly.
Yeah, rig issues are always the worst. We've all had our fair share.
Absolutely.
To varying degrees. I mentioned to you the other night that like I had a Windows update and it pretty much destroyed my Bluetooth driver for like 3 months.
That's wild.
It literally destroyed it so bad that I bought a USB Bluetooth adapter and that worked seamlessly. And then one day out of the blue, it's like, hey, why are you using the USB when you have Bluetooth built into your motherboard? And I was like, motherfucker.
Ouch.
Yeah, right? Big ouch.
Greg, what was your weirdest PC issue?
Mine was my PC was slowed down out of nowhere, and I went to go restart it, and it was stuck on the restarting screen for about like 10 minutes. So I flipped the switch.
Yeah, I got hit with that one too.
Yeah, so I flipped the switch in the back of my PC, and the next time I booted it up, it would just sit there loading on the Windows logo. And I think what happened is that it, instead of launching off my SSD, it was launching off my M.2 or something like that, which didn't have a copy of Windows on it. So I had
well, yeah, that is a weird one.
A little bit of reformatting, thanks to my brother-in-law who had a flash drive with Windows preloaded on it.
Thing's a fucking life. If you don't have one of those already, Jake, that is like your go-to tool.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to get one of those considering what went down last night.
It's totally free. So if you have a flash drive, just dump it on there. There's like a really easy thing to follow. You're slowly getting immersed into the tech world.
Yeah, slowly but surely. I mean, like, cause audio is hard enough as it is, and you and I have discussed this, but I'm like pretty computer illiterate, so.
Jake and I watched the Devil Wears Prada, the music documentaries this week, and what I love just seeing is I love seeing like the producers like setups, like those massive tables with built-in like crazy ass soundboards, and like I just think that's.
You know who's got the sickest setup though, like legit?
Will Putney?
No, Mike Shinoda. Yeah,
that was my second guess.
Yeah, Mike Shinoda got the sickest setup. Anyway, you guys ready to get started?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Second City Kids podcast, episode number 154.
154.
We are back via quarantine again. So this is all on Discord, and it's all good times without having to be in the room. Which I don't know, Gabe. I like it.
You know what my fuck up was I brought over my brand new, nice, super big water bottle right before we went down on quarantine, and that's been stuck at your place for like a month.
Yeah, Adrian was like, should I wash it? I'm like, yeah. yeah, for sure. But I do like it. It's convenient. I'm in my underwear right now. You guys would never know though, right? So
yeah, it's nice taking a... Greg can attest. He has like 8 a.m. meetings and he just rolls out of bed for him.
Sometimes I'm on the shitter.
Absolutely. We are back on a beautiful day. It's absolutely gorgeous outside. Hilarious because it's what's going on, but it's gorgeous outside on the south side of Chicago, Illinois. Obviously, I have Gabe with me today, as well have Greg as well. So, Greg, I'm assuming Greg moving forward is just going to be part of the crew. Open invitation whenever he wants to.
Wow.
He can go ahead and be on.
I get ranked
Absolutely.
up.
Absolutely, yeah. So you're less than an affiliate and more of like a member of the team now. Attaboy. All right, so yeah, we're back, and we got a little bit of stuff on the agenda. It should be some fun conversating points, absolutely. And we're gonna turn chicken salad from chicken shit as we always do. So yeah.
Wait, hold up. Can we talk about that for a second? What?
We're going to turn this into chicken salad from chicken shit as we always do.
You should have said chicken nuggets from chicken shit. That would have made more sense. Yeah. Especially after watching
some of the shit already a nugget?
Wait, what?
Talk to me about Mountain Dew Doritos.
All right, so this is something that I saw. I don't know if it's real, but I'm assuming it's real because I think it was directly associated with like the Mountain Dew like social media account. But apparently they're coming out with Mountain Dew Doritos. So in case you didn't want to waste the time of having to chug Mountain Dew after you eat your Doritos, you could do it all at once now. Mountain Dew Doritos is
the future. Are they green?
Yes, they are.
Oh.
You know, I feel like Mountain Dew and Doritos have always been like behind all the big games. Like I know Mountain Dew had the big one for Halo. That's the most memorable one for me. Yeah. And then Doritos has had a couple as well. So it's interesting to see that these two guys are like finally teaming up.
They used to do the what's it called, like double XP on the back of Dorito bags or whatever, and people would just go into it and like just take the codes and not even buy the shit and just leave. They probably should have thought that one through. Probably should have put the code on the inside of the bag.
You know, you said Mountain Dew Dorito, and this, I thought it wasn't as bad, but then I put this thought of like, what if they made a Dorito Gusher where it's outside it's crunchy, and then when you bite it in, it's Mountain Dew, like Jello.
Hey, write that down.
That's evil. I had a totally different first impression. My thought was when you bite into the Gusher, it's like all the chip seasoning that's on the Dorito.
Oh, that's even worse.
But he said, no, it's Dorito seasoning on top and Mountain Dew on the inside.
Yeah, man.
Yo.
It gets even more gross if you think of Cool Ranch. You throw Cool Ranch.
What is the weirdest Dorito flavor X Mountain Dew flavor? Like Code Red Cool Ranch?
Ew. What the fuck? What are we
Voltage X Classic?
Ew. They have
cheese.
No,
that orange one.
The taco Doritos with like the blue one, like was that Power Surge or whatever they call it? Ew.
Do you remember the? Did they have a black Mountain Dew at one point, or am I just imagining?
It was Black Label.
It was Pitch Black.
They had that one, and
that's what it was.
It was grape. It was grape.
And they had a Black Label one, which was like berry. It was like a berry flavored.
The grape one with any Dorito of your choice.
Hey, my bang though. What the hell?
Jesus Christ!
I mean, it's all going down to the same place, right?
All right, hang on. I got one other ungodly concoction, and then we can move on. So it's a grape, right? But on top of the grape, we have the Dorito seasoning, right? Like the nice, like the
in a cocktail.
And then when you bite down into it, it's Mountain Dew. But you still get the grape skin. That's the important part here.
See what you guys
does it snap like a grape?
Yeah, you get the nice like crisp, but you're not sure if it's like the Dorito snap or the grape snap.
See, what you guys don't realize is that Mountain Dew is tapped into this feed, and they're writing all of this down.
Yeah, just the R&R team at Mountain Dew is like, write that down.
There's a guy in the Mountain Dew lab, I'm sure, who hasn't slept in probably 6 days. And
it's not because he's working; it's just because of all the caffeine he consumes.
Yeah, correct.
With Mountain Dew.
He hasn't showered in 9 days, which is 2 days before he went in. It's just a brutal. Yeah, it's just a brutal kind of a thing. I'm sure the working environment in the Mountain Dew R&D is just not. It's not very good.
I'm sure all of our FBI agents listening in are probably like, "What the fuck is wrong with these dudes?"
Yeah,
they tap rotation at this point.
Yeah,
4 hours of these assholes and
and then mandatory therapy.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Guys, they're playing Call of Duty tonight. You'll never believe what they said.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
What was it that Greg said? He's like, I hope you and your family have an awesome Christmas. That's how mad he was. He was telling people to have a good-ass Christmas when we were playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, we get there. But next up, we have another thing on the agenda, which this is actually something that I fully support. We got Arizona green tea coming in alcoholic form, and I'm all over it.
I'm surprised it took this long, honestly.
For sure. I mean, I'm an Arizona fiend. And I love the shit. And when you just give me some alcohol in it, I don't think I'm gonna have to consume any other liquid moving forward.
I like Arizona as a brand. I really do enjoy it. There's a pretty interesting, I don't want to call it a documentary, but like an info video that I watched on YouTube because I like that informational shit. But no, man, Arizona tea group is fucking phenomenal at what they do, and I'd like to see like a tequila ex mucho mango. I think that'd be pretty big.
Ooh, that sounds good. See, now we're doing the inverse. Now we're doing good stuff that Arizona could actually come up with.
What's everybody's like go-to Arizona flavor? I feel like that one's all over the place.
That RX Energy one for sure for me.
That's a good one. If I see it, I'm either gonna get the tropical fruit one or the cranberry. But those are a little bit more harder to come by.
Interesting. Mucho mango has always been my go-to, but I've recently started. I should say enjoying more of Arnold Palmer's, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. It's just simple. It's good. You know what I mean? You don't need to go like crazy over the top with it.
Yeah, even the green tea one.
Yeah, there's not a bad choice in there at all. Like they have mostly really good drinks and they're all quality and all taste at least somewhat good. You know what I mean?
Hey, maybe when we figure out how to stream this podcast, we should make like an Arizona tea like tier list.
Okay, that's something we work on. That's a project that I'd actually get behind. Yeah, that sounds like fun. We'll figure it out eventually. All right, you guys ready to get into the actual agenda this time?
Yeah, good stuff. So we're talking movies, TV, books is what we usually open with. Unless we're feeling saucy, we'll go down to up. But I put this topic on here, and I kind of want to get your guys' opinion on it. So the topic is just the state of movies in 2020. Obviously, with this whole coronavirus situation and quarantine, theaters have been shut down, and a lot more platforms like Disney, Hulu, they just said, fuck it, put it on the streaming service, right? Like, fuck a traditional release, I should say, right?
Yep.
And so this begets the question because a lot of movies like the new James Bond coming up or like a Blumhouse film that needs to be postponed because they don't have a streaming service, right? That begets the question of, are we just going to be jam-packed with like movie releases from August to December? Or like what is going to happen? Are we going to get like 20, 30 plus movies just releasing in the span of 2 months?
Well, I think just the calendar year when it comes to movies in general usually hits like a lull from like, I want to say from like the end of the blockbusters to about like, Christmas, because Christmas is like a very big in the movie going scene,
See, but like now you're totally omitting like the entire like month of October. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of horror movies that drop or thrillers or whatever you want to say. Like that's peak time for people like A24, Blumhouse, Halloween, right?
I mean, yeah, but usually October, like whether they're good or not is irrelevant. What matters is, do they draw money? You know what I mean? Like,
sure. Yeah.
A lot of these movies don't do like crazy good in October. Like, I think Beavis and Butthead for a long time, when Beavis and Butthead Doing America came out, had the best October release like of all time until like I think Halloween or something came out. So, it's not a very high money time for them. You know what I mean? So whether the releases are there or not, I think the money that they draw during the time period is definitely lower during like the fall months. So I guess we'll have to see what they're gonna do. I would imagine that for some of these things that are already in the can, they're gonna try to get it out as quickly as possible because right now it's just burning money from their pockets, right? You would think that would kind of be their plan moving forward, but at this point, from what I'm reading, AMC might not even open back up ever again.
I saw that they're having some issues there, which by all means go support your local theaters and stuff because local business is great, right?
And you have to think about like the gigantic hole that's going to leave in the market if AMC goes down. I can't even imagine what like Marcus and all the other Icon, how they're probably feeling. If AMC goes down, it's just going to leave a giant hole in the market, Yeah. And I wonder, I wonder who's going to try to take that spot, that number one spot in the country.
It's going to be interesting because now it's like, well, I don't want to get too political because, man, why do we always say this? This isn't a political podcast, but like with all these bailouts going on, it's like, what is the traditional American teenage like Friday night out if you're not going to the movies, right? Like that's just a quintessential part of that experience, in my opinion.
Correct.
But yeah, no, that's a very good thought. That what does happen if AMC goes down to the shitter? Are we going to see a rise of, I don't know, CMA or something, like a different company just pop out of the blue and pick it up? Or you think all these like production companies are going to try and step up, kind of like our idea with Warped Tour, that there's not one conglomerate place now, that there's going to be like maybe like a Warner Bros specific theater. You know what I mean?
I think that's kind of an interesting kind of idea. I would love actually, if it does go down this way and AMC does bite the dust, I would actually love to see a rise of the local theater.
Yeah, I mean, because Marcus, granted, it's not super local. There are like the LaGrange Theater, the Oak Park Theater; those are like truly local, right? And there's one in Lockport too. But Marcus is like the next readily accessible one. And that one's not even that big. Like, it pales in comparison to AMC in regards to like location, profits, all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just due to the volume of people that go to AMC and kind of how they've branched into like the eating in market and stuff like that. I think they took it I think they're taking it really, really hard on the chin when it comes to the revenue, because what they do, what got away from just the movie going experience, it became more of like a night out kind of experience, you know? And, I think that it was a great idea. Like, they thought it would be a great idea long term, but obviously nobody anticipated the world to kind of shut down like it has. So I wonder, you know,
if AMC does go down the toilet bowl, I would like to see obviously like a local theater kind of take charge in regards to like the South suburban Illinois area, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm most looking forward to is that, because somebody down the line is going to get it right. It's going to be a fucking franchise, or it's going to be something small that has like 2 or 3 locations, but they're going to have all the good movies that are coming out. And then on top of that, they're going to have quality fucking food that you can buy.
Yeah.
Like a legit ass dinner. Cause the AMC stuff, it's not bad. It's just wildly overpriced for what you get.
Absolutely.
You know? But you're going to the theater. That's the main attraction. You pay the service fee and you pay the upcharge, because it's not a restaurant at the end of the day. You know what I mean? That's why you're paying $12 for a rum and coke at fucking AMC. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see somebody take up that charge and be like, yeah, dude, like, this is a theater, but we've got like 3 or 4 chefs on deck. We got a full ass menu. And if you order before your movie starts, you will get a legit ass meal.
I think that's what, like Hollywood Boulevard. I think maybe they could step up and kind of become a bigger chain if that's the move moving forward.
Yeah,
you know, because Hollywood Boulevard is the closest thing to real food that we get in movie theaters.
You got to consider too, like, if AMC does pack up and call it a day after 50, 60 years, however long it's been. Now we're going to have all these buildings, all these empty ass theaters that were built specifically for that. You have the architecture in place, you have the equipment in place, you have the seating. Like, it's not like, I'm sure some of them are going to be repurposed for something else, but it's literally set up to be a theater. You know what I mean? It'd be a shame to not utilize that. Especially
those really big ones, like the one in like the Quarry. Like, that's a fucking gigantic movie theater. Like, it's really, really huge.
I'd even argue that the one in like Ridge is like what else are you going to put in there? Like, those ceilings are like massive. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Or the one in Country Club Hills.
Yeah, like what are you gonna? Like, you could put a shop in there, but it's gonna feel like crazily overwhelming. Like, you're gonna have to bring stuff down, you're gonna have to relocate power, all that sort of stuff. It's just some thoughts to consider is all.
Or like a go-kart area. That would probably be the only like thing, like
laser tag, maybe
something like that.
Yeah, but then you'd have to demolish the walls between the theater rooms themselves to fully utilize the space, right?
Yeah, true.
Or at least some of them.
Well, I mean, no, because some of those theaters are big enough that like
you could fit a whole ass arena in there.
It's just like small because of those seats going up.
And you could have.
I feel like if you lay it flat down, it'd be.
Here's an idea. Why not take these? I'm like 400 steps ahead of myself right now. But like, if it does come down to that, why not just host gaming tournaments at these things? Why not just rent these things out like they already do, but make it more of like a venue, right? Like the Bottom Lounge, how they're like, oh, well, we're a bar restaurant, but there's a whole other ass room where there's like live music almost every night.
Yeah, it's an idea. I mean,
you could realistically at that point, obviously not for like E3 if that continues, but like for some of the smaller like local qualifiers for tournaments and stuff, like Magic tournaments, fighting game tournaments, whatever it may be, right? Like that realm of competition and that realm of like social interaction, you could, in theory, just rent it out every weekend, or even for like a convention. You know what I mean? If you have enough space for that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's a very interesting question. I think just kind of how industry was working as a whole has never been put in this situation. We've never had this happen before where we're shutting down like this, at least in the modern era of society. You know what I mean? This is interesting how some of these companies are going to have to find a way to bounce back if they can at all.
It's there was a Vice documentary on the downfall of like, there's this Ohio area where in like the 70s, 80s, 90s, they put up like 5 or 6 malls within like super close proximity to each other because shopping was just blowing the fuck up. Like, people had more money to spend, right? And then they started shutting down all these malls, and now there's people that venture into them for photography, for adventure, whatever the fuck it may be, right? And so I think it'd be super interesting to see that sort of downfall of consumerism happen locally. Because where's the nearest abandoned mall near us, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of one. Can you?
No.
I can think of abandoned big like warehouses. Like I can probably think of a few of those, but like a whole ass mall that's like an acre or two big, or I don't know how much an acre is, so don't quote me on that. But it's just a thought, right?
Yeah. It's definitely a weird train of thought. But that's the thing that people are gonna have to start thinking about, moving forward with everything. You have no other choice, right? I mean,
absolutely.
Like just as an example, like today was my wife's grandma's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And, normally they would throw like a party and stuff. So today, obviously we can't do that. We threw like a little parade in front of her house. You know what I mean? Like we drove by a couple times and then we dropped off like a little gift basket and yeeted it out of there.
That's cute.
Yeah. I mean, like you got to do what you can. Like you have no other choice. I mean, I as much as I love being like, I'm a homebody anyways, as much as I love being home, it is nice to be out and about to do stuff every now and then, Yeah. And, feeling like a goddamn prisoner from planet bullshit, but, here we are. All right. Let's go ahead and keep moving. I actually saw a movie. Well, it's an older movie. It's a movie that's been out for quite some time, probably about 4 or 5 years at this point. Movie's called White House Down. All right. Starring Channing Tatum, Jamie Foxx, et cetera, et cetera. And essentially it came out 3 months after, Olympus Has Fallen. And it's essentially the same fucking thing. All right. It's, Channing Tatum being super secret service man, trying to save the president's life and stuff from within the White House itself, right? And I expected this movie to be like really fucking terrible. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't totally fuck awful. I mentioned that last night to you guys. I think the main problem was that it can't pick a tone. Like it tried to be funny at moments, but it also was trying to be like deadly serious, and I don't think it worked out too well. Some of the action set pieces were pretty cool, I guess. Like they had a fucking crazy like bumper car scene in the middle of the front lawn of the White House that I thought was pretty interesting. But they couldn't pick a tone. I think that was the main problem because Channing Tatum, I like him, but he does not have the best acting ability.
Sure.
I think that's fair to say. I think he's actually tremendously underrated when it comes to being like a funny guy. And, I put Channing Tatum as Jonah Hill's best partner, and he's worked with Leo, he's worked with Michael Cera, he's worked with all these guys, and, I don't know. I just don't think that it's great for the role. He does two things really well. That's, action man, and funny guy. So, I think it's kind of interesting with that.
I think the ratios there need to be properly proportioned because you're right. Channing Tatum is a fucking hilarious dude, right? Like he does like the awkward jock so perfectly as we've seen in like 21 and 22 Jump Street and even like This Is the End, like when he was in the fucking gimp suit, absolutely hilarious, right? Yeah. I just think, I don't know, I like him quite a lot. I like his acting, but maybe he just hasn't found his stride yet. We talked about the situation with Jonah Hill that we liked him as an actor. Superbad was good, but like he didn't particularly love that role. Like many of us loved him in that role, and then he came out with the mid 90s and we're like, I want to see this dude behind a camera for the rest of his career because that movie was so awesome.
For sure.
So,
hey Gabe, who else was in, This Is the End?
Jonah Hill.
Who else?
Michael Cera.
Keep going.
Emma Watson.
Keep going.
Craig Robinson.
Keep going.
My boy.
Yeah. Who's your boy? Danny McBride. So that's like 75 episodes in a row you've brought up Danny McBride.
Well, you made me.
Hey, man.
Another good example, though, right?
Yeah.
Another good example of maybe just kind of finding your place in the universe.
Absolutely.
You gotta separate from like the Apatow crowd, like Rogan can run it and by all means hop in because that's squad right there, right? But like maybe, I don't know, branch out, try different things. I haven't seen Magic Mike, but from my understanding, he was good in there. I don't know if it was because of his acting or if it was because of his body, but
I think the latter on that one, Gabe.
But regardless, maybe put Channing Tatum in like a space opera. Who knows? Maybe he has it. Maybe
it was called Jupiter Ascending, and it wasn't great.
Ah, yeah, I remember that. I was so bad I couldn't finish it.
Yeah,
all three of us will watch Magic Mike as three heterosexual men, and we will.
I haven't seen it.
I've never seen it. Yeah, I've never seen it. Yeah.
One of us in this chat has seen Magic Mike. One supposedly heterosexual.
It wasn't me, guys.
You were there opening night with your Magic Mike hat. Quit playing.
I bet your wife has a Magic Mike hat, Jake.
She does not know.
Yeah, because you threw it out.
I did. Yeah, I did. I saw it. I'm like, you can't do it. Yeah, it's gotta go.
You can't be loving the white man.
It was either.
Yo,
Oh my God.
Oh,
It was
man.
I told her it was either me or the hat. I woke up the next morning in the front lawn. I'm like, I gotta throw out the hat then.
Your wife cannot carry you like that. Are you kidding me?
I don't know, man. There was that one time where I was super drunk and she was pregnant and she had to carry me out of the bar. She actually did a pretty good job in that regard.
That Latina rage.
Yeah.
This fucking asshole, really? I'm pregnant and he's getting slammed.
Yeah, I got drunk that night. It was bad. But yeah, so I would definitely never watch it again. But I came across it and I'm like, I haven't seen it. I've heard bad things about it. This is Adriana's type of movie because it's horrible and she loves horrible movies. And yeah, we watched it and yeah, it's like a D, I guess.
A D, okay. Just for reference, Greg, we rate albums and movies on a scale from A to D because we were super inconsistent with the way we graded things and we wanted to streamline that process.
Yeah, so the whole process is streamlined now because it used to what albums were
1 to 10.
Oh my God, we're so dumb. I can't believe we carried on that system so long.
Albums were, well, I don't think it was that dumb, but albums were 1 to 10. Movies were, I think, 1 to 10 as well, but we flip-flopped a lot between movies and you were like, no, enough of this.
Yeah, I can't take it no more. But yeah, it's a D. And,
I like how people are tapping into the movie reserves during this time. It only makes sense, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think I've seen anything on my movie list since we've been put on lockdown.
Well, you've been gaming a lot, you said, right?
I've been gaming. I've been doing schoolwork. I wrapped up with school this week, so I should be getting a lot more free time coming up. But then, I still have my personal side projects and stuff that need love and attention. So
interesting. All right. Well, this next one is you, Gabe.
Cool beans. So Bob Odenkirk launches his own production company. Bob Odenkirk, for you ladies and gentlemen who don't know who he is better known as Saul from Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. I like how after I watched Breaking Bad and then I went back to Criminal Minds and a lot of other TV shows that I enjoy to binge, he pops up sporadically through there. He's one of those guys that you're like, oh yeah, of course he was in there for an episode or two. I was watching Scrubs and Ryan Reynolds shows up for 3 episodes. I was like, holy shit, this is when he was a nobody. But it's one of those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just kind of wanted to bring that up. Bob Odenkirk, I like him. He's fucking a hilarious dude, and I'm curious to see what he's gonna front, what kind of movies, and kind of what he's cranking out in the future, man. I have a lot of good feelings about Breaking Bad as a series. Vince Gilligan as writer, and all the actors were phenomenal in that show. I know, Jake, you didn't finish it. Greg, did you ever see Breaking Bad?
Probably a while ago. I don't really remember too much of it.
Okay, then you haven't seen Breaking Bad. Copy that.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
But I like to see people with industry experience in the trenches per se, kind of get promoted internally, for lack of better terms here, because the guys you have out on the front lines for X amount of years and they get seasoned and they kind of know what they're doing as actors, writers, or whatever the fuck they may be, and now they're fronting their own projects like this. In my opinion, that's a recipe for absolutely phenomenal things to come. So I just kind of wanted to mention that.
Excellent. Cool. That's good stuff, man. All right. Let's go ahead and get into gaming. We got some stuff to talk about. Let's talk about the first look at the DualSense controller. All right. They dropped some photos. They dropped some imagery on what the DualSense moving forward is going to look like for those who may not be in the know. DualSense is the new PS5 controller. They have kind of moved on, quote unquote, from the DualShock, and they're doing this thing instead. What is your guys' opinion on this controller that you've seen so far?
Well, I think it looks super futuristic just off the bat. Mm-hmm. It looks like next gen. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if this is the final product or if this is a concept art and there's still going to be some revisions. It looks okay. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I actually don't particularly like the color scheme for it. I know the black and white is traditionally minimalist and it's supposed to be appealing on all those levels, but give me that PlayStation 1 gray. Give me a simple black. Give me something more PlayStation-y. You know what I mean? Give me that pedigree, because I feel like when we're at PlayStation 5 now, which has been the longest running and best selling console series of all time, you'd want something that resembles a PlayStation. And it doesn't need to 110% reflect that in your design. Don't re-release the PlayStation 2 controller, right? But come on, make me feel like this is a fucking PlayStation controller. Look at the jump from 1 to 2. They added PlayStation 1 Gen 1 to PlayStation 1 Gen 2 when they added the analog sticks. And then the PS2 controller was just slight modifications. And PS3, it felt very like organic and natural. And even into the PS4, it felt like a good transition. And it felt like, okay, this is still a PlayStation controller with new technology, better battery life. And I say that very loosely, and all sorts of things, right? But then there's this just massive leap. Like, it's like a quantum leap, it feels like. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It feels like when Marty McFly fucking hopped into the DeLorean and hit 88. This is what it feels like. That's just what it is to me, man. Like I said, I don't hate it. I also don't particularly love it. And now I'm kind of, when, the Xbox Gen X was revealed, they're like, well, your Xbox One controllers are still going to work with it. That's kind of already a plus for me that my Xbox One controller will work with this next gen console.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my thoughts on this forward are, we mentioned this prior, but like, use the touchpad more. I feel like that was grossly underutilized.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned to you that like the best functionality of the touchpad was when you have to type something out and you can wheel it around like a mouse. But like very few games take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they put it there for a reason, and it's still in the dual sense controller. Utilize it because you'd be a fool not to.
Greg?
So looking at it, it does look sort of like they took an Xbox controller and just flipped the left analog stick and the D-pad, and then just called it a PS4 controller. I've been on PlayStation 1 through 3. I have not touched base on 4, but I am an advocate when it comes to that stuff. I'm an advocate of, if it works, then don't make any modifications and don't fix it. Maybe just slightly. The PS4 controller, in my opinion, I'm different from Gabe. It didn't feel like a PlayStation controller as much to me. I just like that old classic look of what they did with the Gen 2 PS1 controller and then the PS2 and PS3. Just like something different, but pretty much the base like concept of it is the same. I don't know what the features are of the Dual Sense controller, but I just wish they kind of kept it the same throughout. Like, because like my favorite controller was the PS3 controller. Like that just felt amazing in my hands. Still felt like PlayStation. Yeah. This DualSense controller just looks like an Xbox 360 controller. Just flip like the left analog stick and the D-pad into different.
Here's a hot take for you guys. What if? And it may seem lazy on their part, but I think it would have been genius. What if they just carried over the PS4 controller, gave it a USB-C port and a better battery, so you have fast charging and you can game without having to fucking charge your shit every 25 minutes. That's an idea.
I mean, hey, it is what it is.
I enjoy my PlayStation 4. It's just the battery life. It is the worst out of everything. Out of my Switch, out of my Xbox One controllers. It's embarrassing.
Honestly, I keep my shit plugged in at all times, basically.
How many controllers do you have, Jake?
I have, well,
6?
like, altogether, I have 6, yeah. 6 altogether,
yeah. Yeah, it's just a little embarrassing. And I think that this is one of those instances where not much innovation was needed, but I feel like Sony was kind of like, well, we need to do something. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it feels like that.
They overkilled it for sure.
I would have to agree with you guys. Now, I saw it and a lot of people were like shitting on it. There's like basically 2 trains of thought that I believe that you could take with it. I feel like a lot of people, complained, that there was not a major difference from controller to controller from every single DualShock iteration up to this point. So I think, PlayStation took it upon themselves to try to do something a little bit different. It definitely looks a lot bulkier. I'm completely fine with the DualShock and how it feels in the hands. I think, I don't know. I've been playing Sony products for 20 years. I think, it's perfect for how it looks or how it feels. But, I do understand the need to try to do something different. And, so I'm not mad at them for trying, really at the end of the day is how it feels. And I'll have to get it in my hands to tell you whether it's a hit or not. I'm sure there's going to be some adjustments when it comes to how games feel, especially like Call of Duty, things I've been playing on this remote for a long extended period of time. I'm sure that's going to change. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, you definitely could tell that they are emphasizing, the touchpad, right? That's something that they want to use, a lot more, because Gabe said it, man. It's easily the most underutilized feature. We were promised the world with that thing when the 4 was coming out, right? They said swear up and down they're going to do tons of things with it. It's going to be so cool, and at the end of the day, it's just it's just a button to pull up your map on fucking Call of Duty. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like I said, I have to feel it. I do like the design. I think it is kind of cool. As far as like the color scheme, I get your point, Gabe, but you know, they're going to come up with 30 different colors for this thing. You can do whatever you want with it, really, in the long run. But the one that comes with the console is usually the one that the design, quote unquote, of the system is going to mirror, right? They're going to have the same kind of look. So I'm wondering, what the actual console is going to look like. And we're not going to know until March because they pushed back the release of this thing. And apparently, with this thing going on, that is really put a hole in the plans as far as getting things released holiday, which was the original plan for it. So I don't know. I just would have to wait and see on how it feels because that's really the big difference, right? How it feels, and it's got to feel great. Because otherwise, I'm going to see if I could just plug in my 4 remote and see if it works with that.
I'm sure because you can plug in your 4 into the 3 via USB, and that still works. So maybe there's some leeway there. But I got a lot of mixed feelings, man. I enjoy Sony. I've had a couple of PlayStations. I've been on both sides of this argument. I've been on all 3 sides of this argument because I have a Switch now as well, right? Mm-hmm. Like I said, dude, it's just I feel like Sony maybe at the moment they're in this kind of mindset and where they feel like they needed to innovate. Where, like I said, you could have slapped USB-C because my biggest gripe is we're living in 2020 and not everything's on USB-C, which is the best way, period, at the moment to charge your shit, right? Mm-hmm. Just do those 2 things. That's all I need.
Fair enough.
Actually, I wonder if somebody out there has developed a controller mod kit where you could swap out the USB-B port and dump in a C port with a better battery. That'd be the best $20 investment ever if you feel confident cracking over your controller.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, cool. All right, let's keep moving then.
Valorant. Okay, so I tossed this on here because Greg spoke to me about it, but I kind of wanted his thoughts in recording. Greg, talk to me about this game and kind of the controversy surrounding it at the moment.
Sure. So, for those of you that don't know, Valorant is a FPS that's being made by Riot Games, the creators of League of Legends. And what Valorant is it essentially takes Overwatch and Counter-Strike and kind of mixes both of them into this uncongealed, ungodly horror. And I'm not saying it's bad because so the things it takes from Overwatch are the heroes and the abilities that come with the heroes, but the things it takes from Counter-Strike are the whole the buying mechanics, rounds, planting the bomb as the objective, and you can literally one-tap headshot anyone with any gun. I've seen some gameplay of it with streamers. So the abilities don't look too bad because you actually have to buy them during the buy period, as well as any of the other weapons. So you just buy abilities and weapons in that buy period. Anything one tap, which is all right, and the abilities don't seem too OP. And a lot of people have been dumbing this the Counter-Strike killer that everybody's going to move from Counter-Strike over to Valorant because it's so great, I don't think that's the case, in my opinion, because when because Counter-Strike itself is just so well oiled out, it's been around forever. They haven't changed anything from the old CS source or 1.16?
They've barely added new maps, man.
Yeah, it's honestly just new maps, and it's just the same gameplay, and it's worked out all these times, and you still have all those Russians. Simple. Yeah, you just keep it simple. Don't if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Valorant there's a lot of at least in my personal opinion, how the abilities are going to play out, because some of these abilities seems to just one tap. One of the abilities is you're able to revive a teammate and when he's down, or I think there was even one where it's you mark a checkpoint on the map where your current position is, and then when you die, you respawn at if you die within that ability's time frame, you respawn with full health at the checkpoint.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
So I'm curious to see as how this is going to play out, because I've been watching streams and it looks all right, but I don't know. Overwatch did their thing well, Counter-Strike did their thing well. I don't know if it's going to work out mixing both formulas of each game. Yeah,
man. I think the thing about Counter-Strike is that unless somebody's cheating, if you die, it's on you. You know what I mean?
You can say the same with Siege as well.
Well, that's true. But there's definitely when it comes to the abilities, there's certain levels of bullshit, right? When it comes to Siege, there's certain things that you can't control. But I feel like I said, unless somebody's cheating in Counter-Strike, if you die, you know exactly why. the guy had better aim, you whiffed on a fucking, an up shot, but I think once you start adding a level of randomness, to that formula, I think you're going to lose a lot of your player base because I think ultimately,
you want a fair learning curve.
Yeah.
You don't want all this randomness taking place of, granted that may be better for newer players, but like if you're like a seasoned guy, you don't want your KD, you don't want your game winning progress to be stifled by luck.
Yeah. Absolutely. Because there's no getting lucky and doing well at fucking, Siege, or not Siege, I'm sorry. Counter-Strike, right? There's no like getting lucky. Oh man, I went off. I had fucking 20 kills or whatever.
It's like a kill that you get lucky with.
Correct.
In like a match,
flying op or a deagle headshot.
Yeah,
like a weird flick.
Absolutely.
It's not a whole ass game.
Correct. And I think once you start adding those random things, I don't think it's going to translate very well. That's the thing. I mean, like, it's kind of like the pure man shooter is the whole Counter-Strike thing. So I think it's in a different ballpark as Counter-Strike altogether. I understand the gameplay similarities, so people are, comparing them, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to be anything more than kind of just a fad. I think that's the thing. The whole hero, pick your hero kind of a thing. It's a fad. It's something that a lot of these games are doing nowadays because they feel like it's the new cool thing. And absolutely, it brings interesting things, interesting dynamics to the gameplay, especially when it comes to team comp. But, eventually this is a fad that's going to go away,
this begets a very interesting conversation as to the rise and current state of the hero shooter genre that maybe we should cover on the Exploration podcast, because we have 3 seasoned guys that like this sort of stuff.
Absolutely, we could do it.
So,
it'd be some
foreshadowing.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. Do I wish the game ill will? Absolutely not. I mean, I think new games are important. I think especially when it comes to like streaming and keeping things fresh. I mean, I can only watch so much Call of Duty. I can only watch so much,
Well, we saw how much Apex Legends disrupted the market when that dropped last year, 2 years ago, whatever it was.
100%, right?
Yeah.
And I think we need more games like that just to break up the monotony of it all, and just to keep things fresh moving forward. And it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm not shitting on it. I'm definitely gonna still pick it up just to see how it is, because it seems somewhat interesting. And I've played Counter-Strike from 2014 to 2016.
You played Siege, you've played Overwatch. You kind of know what you're getting into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it should be fun.
Well, yeah, maybe we could get a little report on that once you get some game time in, and tell us how you think you feel about it.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Cool beans. So you guys both mentioned me that Crysis, the team at Cryware, was tweeting some stuff, and so we found out that Crysis is coming on the Switch. Cool. I also mentioned
it's getting remastered overall.
Right. I mentioned last night that the Borderlands games are also coming to the Switch, which I thought was super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What a powerhouse of a console. Terrible fucking launch, but now it seems that everybody wants or has the Switch at this point in time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting that Crysis is coming to Switch. I'm curious to see how it looks and how it performs, because Crysis used to be like the benchmark game for your computer. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, it runs Crysis,
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll see. I'm imagining it's going to be in a similar boat as to Mortal Kombat 11, where the frame rate is probably going to be capped at a hard 30, just because the hardware limitations and stuff that we're working with.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, I mean, we got Doom on the Switch. Granted, it does.
3.
We got Witcher 3. We got Mortal Kombat 11. We're getting. It feels like the Switch is now. I should say, it feels like Nintendo is now batting once again with the big boys, because I feel like they really haven't since the GameCube, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a welcome addition, I guess, and we'll have to see how it runs. The portability aspect is nice, and I guess that's all I got to say about it.
What is our opinion on Crysis as a franchise?
I have no experience with it, if I'm being honest.
I love it. As far as like for me, I mean, the first Crysis I think I delved into. I mean, it was 1. Granted, I was young and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But like, I guess the first Crysis I dove into as a mature man.
As a mature man, as a man,
was Crysis 2,
Mm-hmm.
and playing 2 and then later on like 1. It was a different experience for sure. I mean, Crysis 1 had this like gorgeous open world jungle. You can interact with anything. You can pick up a chicken, whip it at a wall, and it'll break the brick wall down. It's great.
The brick wall?
Yeah, at a hut. You can literally whip a chicken at a hut, and the hut will just collapse. It's great. I think the story for 2 was a lot better, and the story for 3. But like 1, I feel like there was a story there, but it just didn't really make sense. And I mean, overall for me, it was just like this gameplay is great, and that's pretty much the only thing that kept me that kept sucking me in. Going back onto the whole like Crysis coming to Switch thing, apparently Nvidia Shield TV is already running Crysis.
That's interesting.
On its own thing, and it literally has the exact same chipset as the Switch. So that's pretty cool. But the one thing that everybody's like wigging out about is like the whole ray tracing thing, because Crysis Remaster is going to be the first game that is going to allow ray tracing. And for those that don't know what ray tracing is, it's simulating actual light rays using an algorithm to trace the path that a beam of light would take in the physical world, instead of like that janky like setting shadows and rays like hard coding it in, so it's more dynamic. I mean, I think the Nintendo would definitely be able to run it. I have a Nintendo Switch, and MK11 does kind of look like doo-doo on it, but it still plays. I don't know how intense Crysis is going to be for the Switch. I have a theory that's like, I don't know if it's going to be able to be played in handheld mode. Maybe. I mean, I think you'll have to dock in and like display it on the TV. But I mean, I still think it's going to be able to run it. I mean, we like Gabe said, we have Witcher 3, Doom. It just you're just trading in graphics for like a more smoother like gameplay experience.
Yeah.
So, and portability. Portability is the big one, man.
Yeah, and portability. It's just like I feel like the Switch, when it comes to portability, it's mainly for games that suck you in, like Gabe has with Legend of Zelda. So like like I don't know if anybody's gonna be on their like daily 1-hour train commute and gonna hit like just like think like, hey, let me just boot up Crysis real quick and like.
I mean, but there has to be a market for it if they're releasing it, right?
Yeah,
like there must have been some research.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, like what the whole selling points are, because I mean, I still think like the consoles most likely, and then PC, or like definitely PC is probably going to like be outselling the Switch. But for those that want Crysis and just don't have any other major consoles or a PC that can handle it, like it's always a plus.
My theory is that if last gen consoles can run Crysis, and I know this is a remaster, if last gen consoles can do it, I think the Switch should be okay. You know what I mean? At least okay. I don't know how great it's going to look. I love the Crysis as a whole. I love 2. Crysis 2 was a game that I literally probably played consistently for like 6 months, and every single day I never got better at it. I just got my ass kicked constantly at it, and I still loved it. It was such a weird
the multiplayer aspect of it.
Yeah. And it was such a weird thing. I got my ass kicked just on the regular and didn't even care. But so yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to be kind of cool, because there's three Crysis in total, right? There's 3 of them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then a couple DLCs for one. Like I believe it was called Warhead. But...
Okay. Yeah. So I'm glad to see it coming back. I'm sure it's going to look great with the new consoles and whatnot. Or I guess this current gen. I think it should be fun.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So BMW opens up e-gaming sponsorship leagues for like Cloud9 and a couple of other sportsman things. And I was telling Greg, I'm kind of upset because I'm out here paying for my own Beamer parts when I should have just been playing video games up until this point.
I'm telling you. Let's just go join G2.
G2 was one of the other big ones. Let's have a little discussion about, I guess, kind of the current state of esports, because I've met a bunch of people that are like, they're not a sport. Sure, maybe not a traditional sport, but you still need to have the reflexes, the insight, the knowledge, and kind of the awareness in order to perform well. You look at something that requires like a high skill curve of learning, like Smite, Siege, Overwatch competitive, any of these like character shooters, competitive modes. There's a lot to learn and kind of a lot to absorb, even stuff like Mortal Kombat, fighting game tournament stuff. And now, we saw people like Ninja make his fortune and streamers and all that stuff. And now we're seeing the big boys kind of get involved and dip their toes into the market, because BMW isn't some small local yokel sponsorship. This is a big ass international one that's going to be funneling shitloads of money into these teams and probably outfitting them with the BMW Pumas, Greg, the ones that you and I like, the track jackets, and probably maybe even cars if you win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And all sorts of sponsorships and promotions. So I guess what is your guys' thoughts on the current state of the e-gaming world? And stuff like this, because I feel like as time goes on, we're just going to see everybody hop in. It's going to be something like NASCAR, where Lowe's eventually has a Rainbow Six team, and you can only play Americans like Buck.
Yeah.
Thermite.
Well, Buck is Canadian, but so yeah, I think this is the way that we're gonna have to go. You mean take a look at the world, what's going on? Every other sport's canceled. The only sport, quote unquote, that can play right now is the e-gaming, right? The esports.
To an extent, obviously, we're not gonna have the conferences that we used to, but yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think at least the CDL, the Call of Duty League, I think they have finally taken the right. Made the right choice when it comes to how they're kind of laying out the league. Because before it would just be like a random name team, right? As like an Optic or an NB or a FaZe, right? And, you would, if you're trying to get into it, if you're a person who's not like, inherently into the gaming thing, if you don't play, you don't really know who those things are, right? Well, what the CDL, what they have done is add teams from like locations. So as an example, the Chicago Huntsmen, right? So even if you've never been into gaming before and you're just trying to get into it now, maybe it's something that you saw on ESPN or whatever, or the X Games, right? Because they're doing that. Now you have that native. Well, at least I could cheer. I know I'm going to cheer for Chicago because I'm from Chicago, right? As an example.
Yeah, you have that tribalism instilled in you.
Correct. And if you're getting into it, I think that's important, right? You don't have to know anything about football to know that you want the Chicago Bears to win because you're from Chicago, right? I think that I'm glad that they finally made that choice to do that. And I wish more teams would do that. They would kind of put themselves at a home base and say, well, this is what we're playing for. This is the city that we play for.
What if I told you that this household roots for the Buffalo Bills?
Your household roots for the Buffalo Bills?
Yes.
I mean, I like the Bills. They're cool.
Awesome.
But yeah, I mean, that's okay. I mean, you could root for other teams and stuff like that, but when you watch the game, most people cheer for the home team, right? For the most part, even casuals, but I'm glad that they made this choice. And I think it's kind of interesting that we've seen this very large influx of big name sponsors entering the parade, and wanting to get their names on people's jerseys. You know what I mean? I think it's interesting. Like you said, I think NASCAR was a great comparison that you made. A lot of people don't know who Denny Hamlin is, but that he's the FedEx driver, as an example. You know what I mean? I think it's interesting. And I'm glad that we've gone this route. I think people are taking it more seriously, and it's drawing huge money. So usually once you start putting large amounts of money into these things, I think people start to pay attention, even if they're not interested. And that's where we are right now.
Cool. Greg, what are your thoughts, aside from me having to pay for my own car parts?
I mean, esports in general, to me, at least like just to me, has been always a gray zone. I mean, when Counter-Strike was, again, I played it. I used to watch it and everything, like the Katowice tournaments and all that stuff. I always rooted for Virtus Pro because it's a Polish team. I think the big names actually getting interested in esports and starting to funnel money in is like decent. I mean, I have my own opinions about esports. But I mean, if they want to get their head in the game, like BMW, I think this is probably the time because, like you said, like we're all shut in right now. All the other major sporting events are canceled. Esports is probably like one of the only other ones that like are actually still going right now. And I mean, yeah, it's still fun to watch and stuff. So I mean, we'll see where this goes. Like, see what other bigwigs kind of stick their hand into the pot. So
yeah, that was my kind of thought process as well. Because like I said, BMW, they got money to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, like, how interesting would it be to like instead of seeing like the Mortal Kombat tournament sponsored by like Roadrunner, which is a label that I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with. Imagine if like Ford sponsors MK11's Grand Championship or something like that. Like,
well, that gets a little dicier because of all the blood and gore. Roadrunner probably accepts that wholeheartedly. I'm just as an example, Right. Corey Taylor's the next DLC fighter.
Hey, dude, fucking. So his variations are his various bands that he plays in. Like you got a Stone Sour Corey. You got fucking.
I'm gonna one up you. The variations of Corey Taylor and MK11 are gonna be the different masks throughout the year. So you got you got like the Sick era, like the first album. Then you got like the Psychosocial album, and then you got the current Corey Taylor.
Well, I think those are too similar. I think you should probably go through like the opposite end of the spectrum. But anyway, moving along. But yeah, so I'm glad that, that these people can make a living playing games. Every sport started off as just a game, right? So, I think it's interesting. I love it actually, kind of, sort of.
Cool beans. Gaming has definitely come a long way. Mm-hmm. What is this next topic? Who tossed us on here?
I did. Episode 1 Pod Racer. I guess it's coming to the Switch.
The Star Wars game.
Correct.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. So, I'm getting a Switch. No, but yeah, I think it's kind of cool. They're remastering it apparently. And I think it's coming somewhere else. This was a couple of days since I wrote this down, but I think it's also going to PC, I want to say.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they're redoing the episode 1 Pod Racer and dropping it like it's hot.
Why this game out of all games? Out of all the Star Wars licenses and
no fucking
Shadows
clue.
of the Empire would be great on Switch.
No idea.
Republic Commando would be phenomenal on the Switch.
Bounty Hunter.
Bro, that.
I have a fun fact. My PS4 came with the download code for the first Battlefront, like the 2014 one, Bounty Hunter, and some other classic Star Wars games too.
Yeah, I envy you for that Bounty Hunter. I envy you.
So metal. But yeah, so I love it, man. I wish we get remasters and redos of.
Is that whole game just like you play as like a pod racer, and it's just basically like a Ridge Racer esque?
Yeah, it's a racing game. That's all it is. Obviously you can unlock, you have Anakin and all that stuff. But yeah, you unlock these random characters, these different aliens from different planets who all have their own pods, and it's just a racing game.
So 1313 got canceled, but we get a fucking remaster of this. All right, copy that.
Hey man, stop
they
it.
came out with that. What was that one that Respawn came out with?
Oh,
Fallen Order?
Fallen Order. So good.
Fallen Order, yeah. It's kind of like a 1313 thing.
Yeah, it's like the spiritual successor at the very least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was awesome. We talked about that. It was my game of the year last year. But, so yeah, I think it's kind of cool that they're bringing back Pod Racer. And, I played it on the N64, so I loved it. And,
so this is the straw that breaks the camel's back for you in getting a Switch. Is this?
We'll see.
Not Luigi's Mansion, not Breath of the Wild.
Well, hold on. Take it easy. Number 1. Number 2, we'll see.
You're still getting Luigi's Mansion?
Yeah, I want Luigi's Mansion. But we'll see how the finances look moving forward. Maybe eventually when I get my Donnie dollars, maybe I'll be able to convince the woman. But we'll see. All right.
The Switch has so many good games. Zelda, fucking Jake over
Mario.
Here. Pod Racer, go.
Shut up, Greg. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, so that's cool. And that's gaming, Gabe. Let's do your thing.
Let's get into music news and reviews. Have you guys heard of Block by Block West?
Nope.
All right. You guys are in for a fucking treat. So I believe sometime last year we got a Marshmello concert in Fortnite. Block by Block West is a Minecraft concert. And let me pull up the
Block by Block
West. One with Pussy Riot and Nothing Nowhere and Oliver.
Yeah, Pussy Riot, Nothing Nowhere, Grandson. Fever 333 is performing Against the Current. Oliver Francis. Wiccaphase.
Wiccaphase.
The Rex. Your Smith. Magdalena Bay. The Polar Boys. Deal Casino.
What?
Kanayoshi, that local-ish hardcore band.
What the fuck are you? What are we talking about? Wait, what?
This is a concert
in game in Minecraft. Like
in a week,
you
next
join
Saturday.
The server, all these artists are going to be performing, and you just kind of dick around.
I just sent you the lineup.
What?
And Fever 333 is performing. That's like one of the bigger names, probably the biggest name on there, right next to like Nothing Nowhere.
What?
Oliver Francis, yeah, Wiccaphase. I'd say like Greg and I would probably recognize more of these names, but Deal Casino, like I said, is on here. Kanayoshi's on here. Fashion Jacket, Danger Boys, Skin Mag.
Where's Blade?
Yeah, right. He's going to be the headline. Citizen. That's a pretty big band too. So yeah, it's next Saturday. I guess check it out.
Do we have to? Do we have to like pay anything?
I just think you joined the Discord.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Okay, I might have to take a look at that because I am like blown away by what the fuck you just described to me.
I sent you the lineup just now.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at it. Yeah,
and it's not like some like local like Pennsylvania bands. Well, a couple Pennsylvania bands, but it is some pretty big names.
So like, are the artists going to be in the Discord server? Like,
Dude, I have no idea. I've never been to one of these, and I don't know how to react.
You just hear Wiccaphase munching on wheat thins.
God. Sorry, guys, I gotta mute my mic.
My turn yet?
All right.
Right after Pussy Riot.
I will have a review of that for next week's podcast.
Oh, you're gonna go? All right, good copy.
We're all going, bro. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, what the fuck?
We're all hopping on that.
I'm gonna have to check that out. That's interesting to me.
Get some diamonds, bro.
Yeah, right. Mind some diamonds while they're playing. Be like, you guys shut up. I can't hear the creepers.
You damn kids.
Hey, look,
stop making so much goddamn noise. Oh my god. All right.
We have a couple album reviews. One is much past overdue. Jake talked to me about Guardians by ABR.
August Burns Red's newest jam called Guardians. I finally got all the way through it, and I wasn't like in a way because I didn't like it. For a second it blurred into the background and I caught my attention again. So yeah, I checked it out. It's August Burns Red's most recent, and it is a very good album by a very good band. That I think they upped the technicality on this particular effort. Now it's hard to say that because Matt Greiner is the most technical drummer on the planet, but he is very, very good, and the whole album is very, very good. They actually introduced some cleans this time around, which I think is something you and I have brought up before, that they've never really done that.
Or at least capitalize on it.
Yeah, they're starting to integrate some of those cleans into it. It's not a total rehash of what they've done. I would definitely say it's like a step and a half jump from what they've done previously. I love some of the riffages in here. They got one of the most brutal breakdowns that I've heard from them in quite some time. Let me pull up the name of the song. I'm pretty sure it was called, I'm sorry, because I'm a really good podcast host. The song is called, I think, was it Defender, I believe. And it just rips. It rips. That whole album rips.
That's the only song I heard off the album.
Okay. It was sweet. Phenomenal. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Greg likes it. It's got the seal of approval.
Good. Excellent. It's all really good. The whole album is August Burns Red at their highest level so far. And I feel like we say that every single time, but it really is. And I wouldn't put it in like my favorite albums of the year, but it is definitely a really good effort from them. I feel like to like when they release an album, it's like cheating almost because
every smaller band just gets pushed aside immediately.
Yeah, and it's not fair because I feel like the Architects kind of falls in the same kind of category. But I think they did a really good job. And I think maybe I'll listen to it a couple more times, and maybe it'll go up on there. But for right now, it's kind of it's on the outside looking in at the moment. But yeah, it's a solid B from August Burns Red, which is a band who consistently puts out great music, and I would definitely recommend everybody check it out moving forward.
Good stuff. So we got contacted by some promoters to check out this. I believe their name is Hellgarden. They came out with an album called Making Noise Living Fast, and this is a bit overdue as well. Jake, did you listen to this thing?
I did, yes. And I love the title because it's so what it is.
Yeah, it encapsulates it beautifully. So this is a Brazilian band, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, yeah.
And I guess the first thing that comes to mind when I listen to this stuff is I was like, it is crazy to me that different parts of the world have different influences. I know it's such like an obvious statement, right? Like so like situationally unaware. When you listen to this, they're clearly channeling bands like Pantera and like Cowboys from Hell, right? And like stuff like that. And I just love it because it brings back all the youthful memories of like the 90s metal scene and what made it so good and what made it so fun. You look at the metal scene in the US, particularly like metalcore, hardcore, which I would say are some of the bigger like subgenres, that commercially. And then you bring this back and it's just full blown brutality in your face. It was a really fun album. I quite enjoyed it actually.
Yeah.
That being said, I wouldn't say that it's like 100% in my vein of, or I should say style of what I default to when I jam to music. But that being said, it has good production. It has great lyrics. It's in English, which I guess caught me off guard. And the instrumentals are pretty fucking good. I've got like nothing terribly bad to say about this album aside from I want to hear more personality shine through the album. I don't know how long these guys have been around and stuff, but I'm looking for kind of them to dig their niche. Because, like I said, what I heard when I was listening to this was the classic 90s thrash and metal bands, you know what I mean? I want them to carve out more of a personality. But we'll get there. We will get there. And I'm actually kind of excited. I gave this album a very solid B, in my opinion.
Absolutely. So, yeah, it's totally a throwback. It's a throwback to a time where metal was more simple. And not in like the technicality sense, but in the sense where, hey man, we're just going to play music really loud and really fucking fast, right? Which is again hilarious because it's making noise living fast, because it is the mission statement for the album. These guys, approached us and asked us to review, and I love when bands do that. I wish more bands would. And, hey man, it was a great effort from a band that I've obviously never heard of before. And, I would definitely keep my eye on them moving forward because it was a lot of fun. It was very, very intense, very moving. And I would love to see it live. That's something that I would love to put on my agenda, if they ever come through. So Hellgarden, definitely check them out. We appreciate you guys reaching out to us. And I know it took some time to get this review done and just the overview in general and done because of, what's going on. And obviously we haven't been doing a show every week. But we're glad that you guys reached out. It's a lot of fun. And I'd definitely put it in the B category as well. Technical playing, just fast music, tons of fun. Great to play Call of Duty too, for the record. And, excellent job.
I also want to say that for a smaller band that has never been on our radar before, this is like the second best compliment we can give, is that we are looking forward to hearing more.
Yeah.
Because literally the only thing better is bands like that come out of the fucking blue, like that band from Carol Stream that you really liked.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like, holy shit, this has made my top 5. Like, this is insanity. Like, why are more people not listening? Fever War was my band last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just this is literally the second best compliment we can give a band like this. That's like, I want to hear more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of bands get swept under the category of, yeah, they're all right. Nothing special. But
for sure. Yeah.
By us saying we're looking forward, like we are putting you in the same sort of stream as bands like Northern Ghost, as bands like I'm at a loss right now, but you get my point here.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely check them out. If you like fast, technical music, this is a good place to go.
Good stuff. I have another album on here. It's a album by a band called Drain called California Cursed. I'll give you one guess where they're from.
Iowa?
Minnesota. Yeah, you're right. Nope. Right on the... They're from California. I just want to start off this review by saying California hardcore is alive and well, and I feel like we don't give the West Coast the love it deserves. We're very much an East Coast core.
Whoa.
Yeah, go ahead.
I like West Core, all right?
Yeah, I have nothing against West Core. Yeah. I have nothing against West Core, but a lot of the bands we love are from the East Side.
I like Lionheart is all I'm saying. Go ahead.
But do you like them as much as you like Vanna?
No, but that's not fucking fair. That's not a fair comparison.
Do you like them as much as you like The Chariot? Or Every Time I Die?
Well, no, that's
or
it.
Converge.
Well, I'm not crazy about Converge like that. So
okay, well, it's just something I wanted to bring up because I feel like there's obvious kind of bias here, in my opinion. Maybe because we're closer to the East Side, maybe. But California Cursed, Cali hardcore is alive and well, and it is fucking thumping from that bleeding heart. Jake, I want you to sit down and listen to this album because it's actually properly fucking good. I forgot how malleable of a subgenre hardcore music is, and this is more of the like traditional hardcore that like Finn McKenty talks about, right?
Oh my god!
But we're not going to get into that. No, it's a properly good album. A couple of standout tracks I want to bring light to is Hollister Daydreamer, Character Fraud, and Bad Faith. There's something beautifully lovely about the way that the West Side hardcore movement makes you want to get up and simultaneously flail your arms, but also punch the fucking walls. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's something they capitalize on very well. Like, I'm imagining this band playing at a medium-sized skate park and all these kids just going fucking apeshit. Like, that is the epitome of Cali skatecore to me. But
interesting.
I liked it. I give it like a B+. I could see this creeping into my top 5. I gotta sit down. I gotta sit down and like figure out what makes the cut at the moment and kind of look through my album reviews because, it's that time of the year when Dispose by The Plot and You comes back around. Yeah, and because once a year that album you just get reabsorbed into it.
Correct.
That being said, thoroughly impressed. I guess to kind of cap off the album reviews, if you have a band and you want us to review your music, send us an email, tweet at us, do whatever. We love doing our music reviews, and that's all I got to say. Let's talk about singles.
Alrighty. So this one's you.
Dance Game Dance, Lyrics Lie. Properly good. One common thing that I noticed throughout these sort of line of singles, because they did drop another one recently, is that I feel like John Mess and Tillian Pearson are now getting like equal vocal time on these singles, which I think is a very nice balance because if you look at stuff like Mothership and even Artificial selection, I think it was, there was definitely like an imbalance, and it wasn't always in favor of the cleans, and it wasn't always in favor of the screams. It would kind of vary from song to song as accordingly. It was a nice switch up. But that being said, this is one thing I noticed just right off the bat. And bands like Dance Gavin Dance, they have the shit down pat, even with 3 or 4 different fucking frontmen at this point. They know what they're doing. And I kind of also want to bring up that they initially pushed back their album to August, but now they said, fuck it, if you're streaming it digitally, it will be available this Friday, the 24th, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll hopefully have a full album review of that. And man, I feel like these guys have just been keeping super busy.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. And then did you listen to this Bloodbather single?
I have, yes.
Woo, Lord. Start us off.
So, Bloodbather coming at your face with blood. They want to kill you. They want to kill your family and your dog.
And then bathe in it.
And then bathe in the blood of your dog. No, seriously though, this band is fucking brutal. They're, yeah, man, like, I just want to say my discovery. They're very, very fucking heavy and intense, and I love it. And, I need to see more of it. I just love Bloodbather. They're so heavy and they're so brutal. Ugh.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess that's, we can say a lot about music like this, but we've been molded into, you know what I mean? We were born into like this kind of scene of violent music, and
they bring the sensibilities. It brings me back to like cavemen, where just like, oh, so heavy, wants more heavy, brutal, heavy music. Oh yeah. I don't know why I turned Russian in that.
They're a 3-piece from Florida, by the way.
Yes, they are.
Which makes that even more impressive. Not the 3-piece part, the Florida part. But
well, the 3-piece part too, because
yeah, no, that was the joke there.
Oh, brutal. Well, I mean, hey.
Yeah, no, Bloodbather is again one of those bands where when we did the album review 2018, maybe early 2019, we were like, we need more, and now we're getting more. We got oh, never mind. I was thinking Paralysis, but that was Sanction. But we're getting more. I'm excited. I don't know if there's an album plan, but if there is, they have my money. I'm going to pre-order this thing. I'm going to get a shirt just because.
Ooh.
And you know how I feel about pre-orders.
Yeah.
And I think if a band or a product gets me to that point where I'm like, yeah, I have full faith in you guys. Just take my $35 or whatever the fuck it is. I think you've done and said what you need to at that point, because there's very few bands and stuff that I'll just, I have full 110% faith in.
True. Absolutely. So yeah, man, it's all good stuff. Yeah, man, Bloodbather is just bringing back a just level of filth that's not quite there. Yeah,
check this out. That was Dance Gavin Dance, Lyric Fly, and then Disappear by Bloodbather. Again, those singles. That's all I had for this week in regards to music stuff. Do you guys have anything else? Anything you've been jamming to? Stuff you're looking forward to?
Well, actually, we are going to make a quick, I guess, announcement. Not next week. Whenever we do the next podcast, we are going to be doing a retro review of The Devil Wears Prada.
A career interview.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. Career in review is what we called it, of The Devil Wears Prada. And, obviously we kind of know where Gabe and I stand. I'm kind of interested in where Greg is going to go with that. For Greg, if you're not familiar, a career review is when we basically look back at everything a band has done and review all of it. So,
Greg is familiar with the Zombies EP, by the way. I just want to say that for the record.
Yeah, Gabe literally sat me down, strapped me to a chair, and forced me to listen to it.
That's the only right way of listening to that EP. Are you
Clockwork Orange shit.
Yeah, like Clockwork Orange, peeled your eyes open and be like, nope, gotta watch, motherfucker.
Well, that being said, like HTML rules, dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody does.
Yeah, absolutely.
We all grew up in 2006, right?
Absolutely. So, yeah, that's something that we're all going to be checking out probably within, like I said, we're doing a podcast every other week, basically. That's what we're going to be doing. So, that should be fun. Also, Motives, I'm going to be sitting down, giving them another complete listen and do a full album review next time we do it. And, what else? What else we jamming to? Greg, what you got?
Well, recently Thai Boy, can I?
Yeah, by all means, man.
Hell yeah. All right. Thai Boy Digital, which is, one of the members of Drain Gang, dropped a single called Yin and Yang, which features 2 songs, New York City and the self-title Yin and Yang. Definitely like amazing 2 songs. You get the same sort of rapping flow, that Thai Boy's usually used to, in New York City. And then you get the more melodic, high-pitched voice in Yin and Yang, sort of similar. Kind of get some lip service vibes off 11 Generic members. So, I mean, 2 phenomenal singles are out the bat. I'm looking forward to what Thai Boy Digital, as well as the rest of the Drain Gang, are going to be releasing in the future. And I guess Lil Uzi is going to be dropping something new on Monday, as well as Playboi Carti. And I also checked out Meh by Playboi Carti, which is a single that he dropped. And I don't know, it's gotten a lot of hate, but actually I enjoy it. I don't really listen to Playboi Carti that much. The only times I really did was when he was working alongside Lil Uzi. But I definitely enjoyed it. It was a little bit more melodic. I always thought he was more like a drill rapper.
Melodic is the word, by the way.
Melodic.
Melodic,
whatever.
yeah.
We all say it differently.
No, it's not tomato, you motherfucker. One's a mispronunciation.
It's right and it's wrong, motherfucker.
You're a tomato, and Jake's a tomato.
Nice.
So, yeah, I always thought Playboi Carti was more like a, typical like 21 Savage-esque type rapper, but this melodic song, man, definitely kind of struck me off guard, and I never really would think that I'd be listening to Playboi Carti. So, yeah.
Good stuff. Another quick mention by a band that I put both of you on. But Greg discovered that a band called Rectal Smegma dropped an EP on Friday, a 5-song EP. I just want to go through these song titles.
Sure.
Just because I love their song titles. They're always crack me up. Finger Bang Orangutan.
That one goes in hard, too.
Bitch.
Hymen Hysteria, which is a re-release. Cunt Druncula. Brothers of the Sisters of Suffocation. And then the last one is Slayer but Gayer.
I like that.
Oh man, this band cracks me up.
And for the record, Greg, that was the most time we have given probably rap total in the history of this podcast. So it's going to be like Greg's corner.
New levels.
It's going to be like Greg's corner where he just gets to bring up his own shit.
Oh, you did a Kamikaze review when that came out.
That's true. I also did some Logic stuff.
Kendrick. Yeah, Kendrick and Logic throughout the years,
but still.
So, Greg, what's going on the other side of the music world today? Well, you see,
it's gonna be you and Jake in the grimy corner, and then I'm over in the whiny corner.
I like that.
That's nice because Jake's definitely in the grimy.
Yeah,
Greg's definitely in the whiny.
You're in between.
I'm in between. You know,
you're the outlier.
Yeah, you get to comment a little bit of both, so that's good.
Hell yeah! All right, we got any closing thoughts on this?
No, other than the fact that I lost the outro for the show, so I'm gonna have to do it like old school, Gabe. Social media wrap up: Twitter, Snapchat, all that stuff. Second City Kids, Instagram, Second City Kids J, www.facebook.com/Second City Kids. And of course, if you've got any comments, questions, or concerns, you can email us at secondcitykids@gmail.com, and that is where the bands have been reaching out to me. All right, so please continue to send stuff that you want us to check out, even the rappers of the world. I mean, the rappers of the world. Go ahead and check us out. Subscribe in iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, anywhere else podcasts are found. And of course, Second City Kids podcast at podbean.com. Please check us out. All right. Is that all we got?
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys next time, whenever that is, for episode 155 of the Second City Kids podcast. And until next time, folks, deuces. Thank you guys for joining us this week on the Second City Kids podcast. You can like us on iTunes, Google, anywhere else podcasts are found. Any comments, questions, or concern, you can email us at secondcitykids@gmail.com. Until next week, folks, deuces.